Northwest. Do you have the right skills to become a life coach? Before you set up shop, there are some important things to consider. Here to share what it takes to be successful, we welcome back career strategist and professional brand expert, Dr. Carol Parker Walsh. Good morning.
Good morning. It's good to see you.
Good to see you again. So tell me, do you have a lot of people who say to you, I think I can be a life coach?
Yeah, absolutely. So because my client base is usually women who are really at the top of their ladder, they're at a place where they have so much experience, so much to give back, and they're debating about transitioning into entrepreneurialism and actually being a coach. And actually coaching has been one of the highest growing professions over the last decade. So it makes sense. They have so much to give, so much knowledge and experience that they really want to give back. And so the thought is, I want to become a coach. I want to be a life coach.
So what should you consider?
Yeah, I always tell people the idea is fabulous. I love doing coaching. It's an amazing thing, but there's things to think about before you just kind of jump into there. And so I often try to tell people, while you're working, take a few things into mind. And the first thing is to ask yourself, are you coachable, right? There's some key questions to ask. And that's the first one. Some of the best coaches are coached. And so if you're not someone who can take feedback, who can grow and learn, who is constantly improving their craft, then it's going to be hard for you to actually do it for other people. This could be a really challenging one because my high-performing, hyper-achieving clients sometimes think, well, I know everything.
Yeah.
Right? And while the technical piece of it is you absolutely do know, there are some other nuances to really coaching other individuals. So if you're not used to that experience yourself, it may be a bit challenging to then put that hat on for someone else. So the first thing, like I said, all the best coaches have coaches. And so it helps you hone your craft and become better and to really do wonderful things for your clients.
But there's also the business side of life coaching.
Yes. And this is really important. You have to ask yourself, am I ready to do more business than coaching? Because when you start a business, we all think that as soon as I hang my shingle out there and tell the world I'm an entrepreneur, the floodgates will come running and I'll be overwrought with clients and things will be amazing. But there's work to building a business. There's so much technical things in terms of what type of business do you want to build, the business formation, the legalities of it. Who are you going to be connecting with? How are you going to market yourself? Marketing is a big aspect of your business. So you have to be prepared to really not only understand the business of it, but how are you going to stay motivated and inspired when the times are rough, when the times are hard, to really keep yourself focused and building that business. It takes time. It takes a few years to really get it under your belt and to really get going. So you have to be ready to spend a lot more time on your business initially than you do on actually coaching.
And do you think they need to be ready to take on additional training themselves?
Absolutely. So as I said earlier, while you may have the technical skills and the know-how and the experience to really bring to the table with your clients, coaching also is a skill. And there's some nuances to it that unless you've been trained, you may miss or not understand, right? And so the thing that often happens is there's a difference between coaching and consulting. Consultants tell people what to do, right? They bring their expertise and they give people that information and let them make decisions to take it. Coaching is about helping your clients become aware of what's already inside of them by asking really powerful questions so that they can learn the answers. That's a very different thing. And most of the times when people step into coaching, they're really consulting and they're telling people what to do. But it's kind of the idea of that to teach people to fish, you don't just give them the fish. You have to teach them how to fish so they can continually fish. And that's like what coaching really does. It helps you understand the answers to your questions, to really dig deep and understand that knowledge. And when you go through a training program, and while coaching is not overly regulated, you don't necessarily have to be certified, but you should get some type of training because you don't know what you don't know.
Right. A good point. And then should you choose a niche for your practice?
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly, right, if you want to be a life coach, what aspect of life do you want to coach on?
Right.
Now, there are some people who are generalists, and so they are able to help people on a variety of issues, depending on their philosophical standpoint in terms of how they coach. But really, you want to think about what do you want to niche in? So what part of life do you want to coach? Do you want to do family coaching, marriage coaching, relationship, career, weight loss, parenting? Do you want to coach men? Do you want to coach women? Do you want to coach in the executive creative space. There's so many aspects of coaching that you really want to make sure that you're really closely aligned with something that you feel passionate about and that you really feel that you can bring something to the table for. So niching is really important. And niching, by the way, is something that really makes a difference between a coach making a minimal amount of income and really specializing and really growing to a large sustainable business.
Oh, we have a short time left, but you really should be able to support yourself. Speaking of finances.
Absolutely, because most coaches start off only making about $30,000 to $40,000 a year for the first few years. Only about 10 or 20% reach that six-figure plus mark. So you have to be able to have a little bit of a financial coffer to hold yourself for a while until your business is starting to pay you an income and you're actually able to grow.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Carol Parker Walsh. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.